Hello, YouTube. Hello, Nordrasil Radio listeners. Hello, everyone out there in the cyberspace. My name is Morfar, and today I'm going to do something that we usually doesn't do, but I found a guy that did a mod for Amnesia. Amnesia is a horror game. Most likely the scariest fucking game in the world, because I cried when I played that game, and that was way before I met or played the guy we're interviewing today's mod, where he actually made me even more scared of his oh so wonderful mod. I think it's beyond most downloaded right now. That man's name is Tansel. Hello, Tansel. How the fuck are you?
Hello, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm very fine. I'm glad to have you on the show. We have been running past each other from time to time here, so the interview got a bit delayed, but we finally did the interview, or we are doing the interview right now. So how do you feel about the interview itself? Are you nervous, or...?
Yeah, just a little bit, because I don't know what kind of questions I got.
Dude, you should be nervous. Anyways, let's start off with you introducing yourself as a person before we dig into your mod and Amnesia.
All right. My name is Tansel. I live in Turkey. I'm studying computer science in a college in Turkey. I'm 22 years old. I just started modding games with Amnesia, and White Knight is my very first mod, actually.
So you just started doing mods. You haven't done it before?
No.
And White Knight is your first project?
Yeah.
And it turned out to be better than any mod out there.
Well, I just worked more than 10 months, and I think that's the cause of being it good.
Yeah, and I heard about that mod like when it was about 5 months until release. So I was so eager to play it. The mod itself is called White Knight. You can find it in the link on wherever you're listening to this interview. What inspired you to make a mod?
Well, after being finished Silent Hill 2...
yeah, because you have a lot of fucking reference in there.
Yeah. I just wanted to create my own game.
Yeah.
That because Silent Hill 2 was fucking great game. It's just not a game. It's like an art. So I saw that, and I wanted to create my own game to see if I can do something like that. Not an art, but a good game. A good storyline.
And I don't know if you heard my review in the end of my gameplay through White Knight, what I gave you for a score. Do you remember the score I gave you?
Well, it was 11 out of 10.
Yeah, well, 6 out of 5, but close enough. Well, I actually said that your mod of Amnesia, usually mods in Amnesia they're 30 minutes long, and you get scared, obviously, but it's exactly the same environment as the normal Amnesia, and, well, it gets you scared, but not more than so. And what you did was taking a whole new approach to the Amnesia modding, because you did... like every fucking thing you did in that mod was so far away from what everyone else had been doing. Like, for example, instead of the lantern, you picked a flashlight. And I heard that was a long process to make that work.
Yeah, that was very hard process to make it.
But your White Knight, it's not about us. I'm not going to give out spoilers here, but I feel like you didn't really feel like there were need of the old, the monsters chasing you. You did a very good job of making it feel like you were chased a lot of the times. Was that intentionally, or because you used the music so well?
Yeah, I actually just think that what you don't see or what you think is there, but actually not being there, scares you more than seeing the real monster.
Yeah, exactly. I remember a particular part where I was so scared. I was shaking when I played it. And doing playthroughs, you can't simply just escape the game and come back later. You have to run. You have to run. You have to run. And I almost started crying there, and I did not know what to do. And then people tell me, dude, there was nothing chasing you, but it was the music. The music you used there was like, oh my God, I can't explain it in words. It was pure genius, to be honest. What was your, also one thing that I've been thinking about in Amnesia, when you go into dark places, shadows, you get night vision after a while, or something close to night vision. You totally disregard that and throw it out. So when you go into a dark place, it's totally fucking dark all the time. What made you do that decision?
Well, night vision was against my all goals. So having a flashlight to enlighten your way, or seeing what you are not supposed to see in the dark, was against my intention. So I removed it, and I think that what you don't see, what you can't see, frightens you more than what you can actually see. Because when you go dark, you don't know what's there. You can't see it. Maybe there is a monster, maybe there is a chair. But since you can't see it, yeah, that idea of being threatened by the dark was more oppressive or more threatening or more scary than having night vision. So I removed it.
Yeah, well, what you just said is the genius part of what I think. I think a fictional game who did Amnesia should really award you with like more than just an award. I mean, as I said, I would be glad to pay at least $30-40 for your mod, because it's a long mod. It took me 5 hours to complete, and was the worst and in the same time the best experience I ever had in a horror game. And I played a lot of horror games, as you know. But that is, of course, not everything. That's just the feelings, the music. Who did the music, by the way?
Well, since I'm a huge Silent Hill fan, I just follow everyone who makes Silent Hill style music. So I've been listening to a group named Broken Notes. I asked them if I can use their music for the mod, and they kindly accepted my request. So I just chose some musics proper for the atmosphere I tried to create and put them in the game.
And it fit. You really put the perfect song in the perfect location at every time. I couldn't find anywhere where the music didn't fit perfectly to your environment, to the feeling, to the atmosphere, and everything. more than music, of course, the biggest part of the game is the storytelling. Where did the first ideas of the story begin in your head?
Actually, for this story and other stories I'll be making, there is one sentence I just put in everything I made. It was in the note in the game. It's about perception. It depends on everybody. It depends on people. What you see may not be real. That's the thing.
Yeah,
I just wanted to experience.
Yeah, exactly. Because in White Knight, you after playing it, when I finished it was a while ago, but I'm still thinking about it. But I came to a conclusion that, well, obviously you're in some person's mind throughout the game. The only time it's truly real is in the end. Is that correct?
Well, we can say so.
Yeah. Well, everyone has their own little. You're the only one who knows what really happened, because there's so many ideas out there. Everyone has their own take on his story and what really happened, and that has to be feeling fucking great for you, because then you really did a good job. Like, I've seen some people having the same theory of what really happened, but I mean, I've seen a dozen of different stories. That has to feel great that you could make one game and have so many different people having their own experience, their own thoughts of what really happened.
For that part, I really think that was a great success, because Silent Hill 2 was released in 2002, and still people making some theories about what really happened, what is the real, what is not real, what really happened to James. It's been nearly 10 years, but people still talking about it, still not knowing what really happened.
Okay, so
I really wanted to create that.
Okay.
And I think it's successful.
Yeah, it was really successful. And what you're saying to me is that I'm going to be sleepless for about 10 years now, because I'm still thinking about it when I'm trying to sleep. You motherfucker. Oh, God. Anyways, you also had some wonderful voice actors, which I love when modders use voice actors instead of, just reading. Where did you find your voice actors?
Well, actually,
I really found them to be very professional, very good, and they really made, like, for an example, what's her name? Sophia. I mean, they really did a great job making the person in the game seem legit.
Well, that was a hard process to find them, and even harder to make them to read lines the way I wanted.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I got a little lucky, because when I asked people if they are interested in doing voice acting for White Knight, they all accepted.
Oh.
But maybe it's because storyline, maybe it's because they are interested in doing voice acting for a game, because I think except Dr. Patrick Parr's voice actor, everyone else, it was their first experience for a game or mod.
And they did all really good. I don't know how many takes they did, but it came out really, really good.
Well, that last line Dr. Sophia talks to you, it took like 9 tries. But she actually gave the feeling I wanted to.
Yeah.
create.
Delivered. But many people have a very love and hate kind of feeling for the end. Let's not spoil the end, but what made you do the decision you actually did for the end?
Well, I wrote a few different endings. I thought about implementing all of them. People could achieve different endings through the game. But in the end, I just felt like there should be one possible ending, because what David did, what he has been through, there could be just one possible ending for the game. Another ending couldn't make sense.
No, I totally agree with you. In my opinion, it was the perfect ending, because that is the start of all the talk, all the thoughts.
Yeah.
If you just made everything clear, it wouldn't be fun at all. The fun part of the mod is that you never really know what is real and what's not real. And in the ending, was that real? You never know. And I love the ending. I'm one of the guys that love the ending. We also did a video on YouTube on my channel where we asked the fans. Sorry, I'm like you, haven't slept for several days, I feel like. But I made a video where people could ask their own questions, the community questions. So I thought, why not dig right into those questions? What do you think?
Well, if they are not hard questions, let's do.
They are all fucking hard. Let me see. I had a full list with all the questions I wanted, but of course I lost it. So right now I'm just going to read them and see if we can find them. Is there... well, I have a question before we start. Will there ever be a White Knight 2?
Well, technically it's possible, but I don't think David's story should continue after that point, because it would spoil the experience for first game. If there would be a second game, that would be for another person, but same story for another person is not a good idea.
No, I agree, definitely. Here's my first question from the community. Comes from I Love Eads World 13. Why do they all have to have these difficult names on YouTube? I could never understand that. Well, here's the question. Will you be making any other mods other than White Knight?
Well, I just have another story. I'm trying to polish it out, but it will not be for Amnesia.
What will it be for?
Well, I'm just trying to figure out what engine can I use, because I need a terrain editor. Well, I can give some information about it. It will be in a town near the sea, so there will be some mountains, scenes. So Amnesia engine couldn't handle that. I'm looking for an engine. Probably it will be a Source engine, because my computer is not high-end and it cannot handle UDK or CryEngine 2 or 3. So I might stick to Source engine. It might be a Half-Life modification. Half-Life 2, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Why not? I mean, Nightmare House and 2 were very successful with that particular engine. So I am more than certain that you can do something very good with it. What kind of inspiration did you get from where for the idea of the custom mod comes from Crashy DK?
As I said, I wanted to create a game that my own creation. but I just can't build up a game from scratch, so without experience especially. So I wanted to create a mod instead of standalone game. Amnesia's tools, HPL2 tools were easy to use, so I decided to stick with them. Actually, I tried to do something with Penumbra games, that HPL1 engine, but that was way too difficult to use. So I waited for Amnesia to release, and I used them.
Yeah. I found a really good question here, which is, well, we know that it was almost 12 months you worked on the project, right? So here's a question from UMP Silencer. Tansel, how did you stand to work 12 months on a custom story to Amnesia? That's like a whole year, and with the knowledge that you won't earn a buck on it, that's like 1 year of charity work.
Well, actually, having created something cannot be both. I mean, money can't earn it. The feeling that actually you have created something good. So that explains the money thing. But more than 10 months, about 12 months. Well, when I started to make this, it was really, really bad. It wasn't something like that. It was a custom story, not a total conversion. I didn't have any custom models. I didn't have any flashlight. But when I felt very dissatisfied about the custom story, I just removed everything and started from scratch. And about March, this would be a total conversion. And when I looked at it, man, I need to finish this.
Yeah.
I can't give up on this because it has too much potential to be given up on it. So I tried to stick with it. And after some point, 6 months after starting, well, it got too big to return.
But I mean, were there any time in the process that you thought about, hey, let's put it on, I mean, you could use Desura and have it for $10, $20. Did that ever cross your mind?
Yeah, to be honest, yeah.
Why not? Why didn't you do it?
Well, making a mod is free, and you don't need any money to make it. You don't need any license to make it.
But time is money, right?
Yeah, but if you want to make a mod to a standalone game, you need to purchase the engine. You need to license it. You need to have license of the music, textures, models you use. You need to have a license to release a game. You need to pay money to voice actors. You need to find some modelers, artists. So
that would maybe make you go. First of all, it's a whole load of work, and also potentially leading you to making it to cost money rather than make money.
Yeah, and for a single person who is a student, that actually doesn't sound very possible.
Let's see here. We have another question from Shoskar Shulian. Tansel, was it hard to sleep at night? I would never want to work on such a haunting thing. How did it pretty much influence your overall mood while making it?
Well, it actually didn't affect me as scare-wise, but I was like, when I walk outside looking at the sun, clouds, I say, oh, look at skybox. That I was looking at the real sky, and I was thinking about, look at skybox. That affected like that. I was looking at sunlights and look at the billboards. They are incredible. I need to do this in game. But well, that affected me a lot. But I never had any hardship sleeping at night. Maybe because I didn't finish any part. I had some hardships and writing codes. Maybe that can be prevented me to sleep properly. But yeah, I admit it. I got scared playing my own game many times.
Yeah, we always get we always have some weird questions, and we need to have those as well. Question to Tan: do you still love me from Chaotic Monkey?
Yeah, I love him. He actually made voice acting for Dr. Patrick Parr.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Well, that was a good voice acting, so I love you too. Let's see here. Did we already answer that? What was the? We have a guy called Tay Diggy D. What was the most time-consuming / annoying thing making this mod?
Well, it was making models, converting models, and making textures, because you cannot advance in the mod. You just prepare materials to use in it, and it was the most boring part of the creating this mod. And actually, I at the end of September, I get all of the voice actings from the voice actors, and I got over 100 lines on my desktop. I had to regulate them, I had to edit them, and that was another boring part. But other than that, it was actually quite fun to create some good maps, to write notes, and test it.
Yeah, I can. Well, of course. Here we have a question from someone called himself the Predator. My question is, did you take inspiration from Max Payne for the plot and the global ambient?
Well, I played Max Payne 1 and 2, and I think they are really great games, but I had no inspirations from them.
No inspiration at all?
Yeah, no, not at all.
How do you? Here's a question from Mr. 123 Red. How do you feel about the success and popularity of your mod, and do you plan on making any more in the future? Well, that we already covered, but how do you feel about the success and popularity your mod actually got?
Well, I'm quite happy about that. I actually didn't expect that it would be this popular or this much fan base. I actually didn't think that will be this good, but I'm quite happy.
Yeah, I would be so too. There's a guy who has a good question here. He calls himself Rodrin TRK. Did you get any response from Frictional Games after making this mod? They must be impressed by your work if they've seen it. And to all the Bonbon and viewers, remember the White Knight vids. Okay, fuck that. So, did you get any response from Frictional Games yet?
No, but Jens mentioned White Knight in one of his interviews, and he said it was very good to see something new, something not Amnesia-ish. So that was enough for me, because having a compliment from actual developers, was the best thing a modder can get, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, yes, the thing that he actually mentioned it. Oh my god! And there's a lot of questions that just repeat themselves. We have taken that. We have taken that. Well, here's a question. UBJX Yester. Did Penumbra inspire you to create White Knight? By the way, did I see a huge worm in the game?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, you did. At the fucking bridge, scared the living shit out of me. But Penumbra, was that? Did you only get inspired by the flashlight, or was there anything else from Penumbra?
Flashlight. It's because of this story is set in modern times, and
exactly.
you can't use lantern.
Nah, that would be just fucking silly. 2010. Oh, let's use a lantern.
Penumbra games relies on real things, real storyline, not a mind fucking game. It's way different from White Knight, so I can't say I got inspirations from it. But for some puzzles, maybe I did.
Here's something from there was a question why you named it White Knight. And Grace did actually say in the game it's because of Scrubs, but I can't see that as a legit answer. So why White Knight?
Well, that's hard to explain, but believe it or not, I just put the name before creating storyline.
Okay, so your next game is going to be Dark Day?
Well, there are a lot of mods or games with prefix or suffix as dark.
Yeah.
It's just very mainstream. I just wanted to create something original. So white would be interesting, and White Knight. Actual nights are dark, but this is White Knight. There is something different here. So that title, that name could be more interesting than any other custom stories out there on any other mods or any other games. So I decided to put that, but I had to explain why the mod is called White Knight. So I created storyline, but that Scrubs is just a little part of it, because whole game is a White Knight, as it is darker than any of the nights.
That's very deep. We have a question here as well. Let's see. We're actually running out of questions. What the fuck? Okay. Hockey is the best. Asked you, what method of smoking do you enjoy most?
Are there any kind of I can refer?
I only know one way of smoking, but
yeah,
there might be different ways to smoke. I don't know. That was silly fucking. Shanneres 12 asked, "Is there a soundtrack for White Knight?"
Well, as I said before, I just used free music for White Knight, and all music can be found in Broken Notes website, which is brokennotes.com or something like that. Just Google it.
Yes, Google it. Google will have your answer. Broken Mods. Question for Tansel from Mr. Obsidian Powder. Okay. Well, as you can see, Morfar told us Bonbon that he would buy this mod if it would be in a game. Will you make mods similar to this one and maybe try to sell them? We discussed that, but yeah. Do you think in the future you will maybe try to take that approach in the future?
Well, all of my personal creations will be free. Okay. But I work at in a game studio in Turkey as a scenario writer, so I might earn money from that. But my personal creations, mods or games will be free.
That's awesome. But I can see a future for you in the game industry, and hopefully you will go very long. Let's see here. Question from Koala Freaky. How many downloads are there totally right now for White Knight?
It's more than 11,000, and I don't know other sources. I didn't count them, but on ModDB, it's more than 11,000 at the moment, and it's just more than 1 month, not 2 months since release.
Well, that's still way more than anyone got this early. Let's see here. Yeah, well, you said you are creating a mod right now, or thinking of a mod. So you're never going back to Amnesia and doing Amnesia mod again, or what's
yeah, I actually thought about that because now that I can use Amnesia tools at the fullest, but I think White Knight, that's it. I can't go back to that tools because I wanted to create some good outdoor scenes like sea scenes, mountains. So Amnesia doesn't get you tools.
Maybe if there's a lot of discussion if there ever going to be an Amnesia 2, but if there are an Amnesia 2 and the tools are there, maybe then, who knows?
Well, actually, I was following Frictional Games blog, and they are working on a new engine, HPL3, and it will have some terrain editors, some good outdoor mechanics. So I think maybe that would be possible for their next game, but their next game will be released like 2013.
Yeah.
So I can't wait.
Something like that. Well, here is what we talked about earlier. Elite Drone asked, I thought I got the whole storyline with Grace, Sophia, David, but in the last scene made all my sense flush away. So what actually happened, Tansel?
Well, for the first time I announced the mod, I said, what are you going to believe? Or who are you going to believe? So how come you believe what David see is the real thing?
Exactly. I have my theory, but you know about my theory. But I'm not going to spoil that because I have a feeling I'm way off line with that. Anyways, we talked about this as well. Let's see what. This is a good one. The awesome. K-Man, what advice would you give to people who are new to modding?
Oh,
that's hard.
I was new to modding when I started to White Knight. Yeah, you saw some of the videos that I took from the early builds of it.
Yeah.
You see how awful that was.
Yeah.
Well, it's just having passion to create something and hard work.
Hard work, yeah, I think so too. Having the just try, even if you don't understand the software at hand, let's say the Amnesia editor, just there's wikis, there's everything. Just study, and
that's just experimenting and just try it.
Try it out.
Yeah, I broke White Knight many times. I tried many things. I created many things. Many of them didn't work, but I included what worked. And
I think that's actually a good answer to that, because I mean, it's a hard fucking question to answer. And sad to say, the last question from the community. Here goes. Goal creep. How complex is making a custom map? Well, to be honest, that has to be like, you can make it very complex as you did, or the other way around.
It depends on what you want to create.
Yeah.
And how much work can you put in it.
I think his question really is, how complex is it to use the editor? It feels like that.
I actually found Amnesia tools one of the easy to use because as I said before, I switched to Source Engine, and when I was looking at it, God, how I will be able to make something with this? Because after Amnesia Engine, it was very easy to use. It was very easy to create maps. It was very easy to script. But other engines are quite complex, and actually Amnesia is one of the easiest. So I couldn't say it's complex considering other engines.
Yeah. Well, finally, well, I need to tell you personally that I loved every single second of your map. I played a lot of things, but that really touched me in so many ways, and not in a creepy way. But you know what I mean.
No intention.
You know what I mean. So what do you is there anything else you want to add, except we need to plug you, like your website and stuff like that? But before we go into that, do you have anything else to add about White Knight?
I should say that White Knight is actually an experiment. I just wanted to see what people like, what people react to some specific kind of things, what people do to follow the story. I saw many people failed to follow the story. They couldn't understand it because I took many things abstract. In my next map, my next mod, that won't be that hard to understand the story, but I learned many things from making White Knight and seeing people's reactions. So it was just actually an experiment, not to create a good mod people to play.
A follow-up question then. Did you watch my playthrough?
Of course.
Did you feel like I understood most of it?
Well, actually you missed one note and one flashback, so I don't think it's possible to fully understand, even if you had all of them.
Well, I actually bugged myself through a door somewhere. I felt like maybe I missed something there. But I'm known, when I play Amnesia, I'm known as the magician, and I always make weird stuff happen. Did you see the fucking the bed?
That was scary.
I was like, what the fuck? The bed is like 4,000 meters long now. I was like, what the fuck? I have a question. What made you decide to make the water monsters visible, as in fire?
Well, they have some meaning to David's history.
That's why.
Yeah.
Because I didn't find them as creepy as they are normally, because I'm really scared of what I can't see.
Fire on water, that's just doesn't make any sense, but
in his twisted mind it might be making a lot of sense.
Yeah, but I actually tried to include more things, but I failed because an engine wasn't capable of making them. So I just took other way around and create something like that to give the feeling that you are playing some parts of the maps, maybe has something to do with David, maybe has something to do with other characters. Well, that's up to players.
Yeah, that's up to the players. And I can only recommend to actually play this mod if you haven't. Where to get it, you can find it in the description. Tansel, you have a website. Care to share with them?
Well, how can I pronounce that? Tansel.com?
Yeah, I'm going to link it. I'm going to link it in the description. I think I'm very happy with this interview. I got well, of course, we can't discuss the true meaning of the story, but I think they got what they wanted, and I'm really happy to be having the privilege of interviewing you, Tansel, and it's been a pleasure.
Well, it's my pleasure because you gave me the chance to speak my thoughts about White Knight and answer some questions people ask. So I thank you for this chance.
That's my job. That's my job. Well, I had a really good time, and as always, I mean, I recommend White Knight to the. I mean, if you don't own Amnesia and can't play it, buy Amnesia and download this, because you need to experience White Knight. Every single person out there need to experience White Knight. If you haven't, you don't know what fear is.
Thank you.
If you want to discover getting pissed, feared, and scared of wheelchair, well, this is your mod. Anyways, Tansel, it's been nice talking to you. I'm sure we'll talk in the future from time to time. I will have my ears for your. Well, I will be looking like a motherfucker for your next project, and I'm going to pray to God, even though I don't believe in him, that your next mod will be out very, very soon. I'm looking forward to it. So, with that, I bid you farewell.
Well,
and I think you actually deserve this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tansel, have a great day, and thank you for being part of one of NodrassilRadio.com's interview with me, Morfar. And for people who doesn't know what Nodrassil Radio is, head over there, NodrassilRadio.com. I'm the owner of Nodrassil Radio. I'm on vacation at the moment while I'm moving to Thailand. But I'm still doing interviews on my vacation, but fuck that. So, until next time, guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Tansel.
Bye-bye. See you.
Yeah.
And back in Thailand.
Yeah, I'll invite you. Bye, guys. Bye-bye, YouTube.
If you enjoyed DJ Morfar's video game hijinks or want to hear first impressions on the newest, hottest games being released, follow Morfar on Twitter at DJ Morfar or on Facebook.com/DJ Morfar, or don't, and Morfar can drown in his own tears, which will make us all pretty happy.